Hey, it's Pete here with another kind of commentary video, a little bit different than what I have been doing as I continue to experiment and see what catches attention, what people find worthwhile. Those of you who have seen any of my other videos know that I'm into evaluating cultural trends. And so this one is going to be a video simply on a cultural trend. It's not about another video or what other people said in a video. I just had some recently been doing some driving, long trips, and so lots of time to think. And this idea came to me then in one of those trips. And so we're in a time of a cultural trend referred to as cancel culture. I won't try define it. First of all, that'll just take up time. I've been thinking about it as a trend. I'm recording this early in July 2021, so it's just after Canada Day, so it was in the news related to that. And kind of off and on, things have been in the news related to cancel culture. You'll notice I'm deliberately avoiding giving anything specific as examples. So what I've put together are some words from me that try to prompt more thinking about what's behind it. When I was a kid, we would go to these conferences where anyone who came could have a chance to sound nerdy and academic. And as a young teenager already, I learned the word presuppositional thinking. What is presupposed before someone says something else? And this sort of gets at the presuppositions behind cancel culture from a sociological, psychological perspective. And I'm just trying to prompt some thinking about what's behind it without saying whether I see it as right or wrong, but what's behind it. And the format it's almost like a poem. It's a literary format framed around a question. And so I'll just start. Have you not yet realized, or have you forgotten? You once knew, but you don't remember anymore. And I ask this of individuals watching, but also of our culture as a whole. Have you not yet realized, or have you forgotten, that all individuals are flawed? All. Have you not yet realized, or have you forgotten, that individuals have a hard time seeing their own flaws, particularly by themselves? It's like you need healthy community to be helped to see your flaws. Haven't you yet realized, or did you once know and have forgotten, that any collective of individuals will all bring their flaws to the collective? Have you not yet realized, or have you forgotten, that a collective has a hard time seeing its own flaws? Have you not yet realized, or have you forgotten, that what is seen as a flaw, a wrong, can change over time? The same is true of what is seen as virtuous or right. It can change over time. And so a flaw, a wrong that was held up as a virtue in the past, can over time be seen as the wrong that it was. And there are lots of those being explored in our culture today and it's good to do so. Have you not yet realized, or have you forgotten, that many flaws in others are actually revealing of the flaws in the eyes of the observer? Let me give you a personal example. I'm going to pretend it's not the case anymore. So I used to have a problem with just talking too much and wanting everybody to just listen to me. And then I started realizing that I got very annoyed with people who talk too much. And I realized the motivation behind my disdain for them was something in me. Have you not yet learned, or have you forgotten, that many flaws in others are actually flaws in the eye of the observer? Have you not yet realized, or have you forgotten, I'm hoping you've just forgotten and need a reminder, that once you learn to see your flawedness and sincerely want to do something about that in a healthy way, once you start on that, you get less and less concerned about the flaws of others. In fact, you become empathetic and sympathetic, or I'm meaning these words in healthy ways. Oh yeah, that's what they're struggling with. Tough. Have you not yet realized, or have you forgotten, that a witness or an observer from today, looking back on the past, readily sees what once might have been virtuous as a flaw? When I was a kid, it was virtuous to have a fist fight with another boy, never a girl, in the playground. That was held up as virtuous. And now we rightly see that as not the best way to solve problems. I'll just leave it at that. And that's a good observation. But we need to be aware of this truth, that a witness from today looking back on the past readily sees what once might have been virtuous in a culture as a flaw. And that should be talked about, and that should be named. But the answer, the response, is what we need to think about. Have you not yet realized, or have you forgotten, that it demonstrates a lack of flaw awareness in oneself to tear down the flaws in others now or in the past? Have you stopped to think about what that implies about what you expect out of people, out of yourself, and out of other individuals? You expect them to be perfect or to present as perfect, to perform as perfect all the time. And I've seen the damage that it creates to create a culture where certain things cannot be talked about. So, those are some thoughts on what creates cancel culture from a socio-psycho perspective, individual perspective, that is worth thinking about as whenever you want to contemplate or discuss this topic. As I said at the beginning, I've tried to be very careful about not naming hot topics today that become the subject of cancel culture, because that's not my point, not in this video. My point is, have you thought about this? My question is. Till next video, stay